take one. We're going to do a full run through. All cameras should be sunk on this.
And they're just anybody else, they're allowed to be in here.
No, they're not. That's the problem. They're racing.
What were they asked to leave for? They do need a reason. You can't discriminate. It is discrimination. It's absolutely discrimination. Why was anyone else asked? I'm coming out and they're beating me up. We're here a million times and paid to meet people. It's discrimination. Does anybody else in this place think this is ridiculous?
It is ridiculous. I saw what happened.
Does anybody else think? I mean, yeah, this is ridiculous. What did they get called for? Because there are two black guys sitting here meeting me?
Yes, I didn't know that black guys.
Well, what did they do? What did they do? Did someone tell me what they did?
They didn't do anything. I saw the entire thing. I
What
asked
did
in
they
the
do?
bathroom. The woman says for paying customers.
These guys were doing what people do every single day. They were having a meeting and they were undoubtedly singled out because of their race.
These officers did absolutely nothing wrong. They followed policy. They did what they were supposed to do. They were professional in all their dealings with these gentlemen, and instead they got the opposite back. I will say that as an African-American male, I am very aware of implicit bias. We are committed to fair and unbiased policing, and anything less than that will not be tolerated in this department.
We're back now with Starbucks under fire. Protests, as you know, breaking out after two black men were arrested. We're going to speak with Starbucks CEO in a moment, Kevin Johnson. But first, ABC's Lindsay Davis is in Philadelphia, where more protests are planned. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Robin. A few minutes ago, we had about a dozen protesters outside of the Starbucks here, but because of the driving rain, they're now inside, conducting essentially a stand-in. The video has now been viewed more than 9 million times. Two black men sitting at a table inside this Starbucks and arrested.
What did they do?
Outrage is brewing this morning over this viral video showing two black men escorted out of a Philadelphia Starbucks in handcuffs by police.
Well, what did they do? What did they do? Did someone tell me what they did?
They didn't do anything. I saw the entire thing.
Police say the men were sitting at a table without making a purchase, and when asked to leave, they refused. That's when an employee called 911, reporting the incident as trespassing. Witnesses, including this businessman who the real estate brokers were about to meet with, say the men were discriminated against for being black.
What did they get called for? Because there are two black guys sitting here meeting me?
I sat in there the other day for an hour and no one asked me to order anything or leave. These guys were being totally calm. They never raised their voices. They never made any, physical motions or anything. They were just regular guys sitting there.
But Philadelphia's police commissioner says his officers did everything by the book.
These officers did absolutely nothing wrong. They followed policy. They did what they were supposed to do.
Anger is boiling over on social media with the hashtag boycott Starbucks. Comedian Kevin Hart is blaming the local branch, saying this is not a boycott Starbucks situation. This is horrible management. The manager on duty was wrong. It's that simple. Starbucks is now apologizing, saying the video is not representative of our Starbucks mission and values. The basis for the call to police was wrong. You can and should expect more from us.
No charges have been filed. Those two men have since been released, and they now have attorneys. Robin.
All right, Lindsay, thank you very much. And Starbucks CEO Kevin Johnson joins us now exclusively from Philadelphia. Mr. Johnson, first of all, thank you very much for wanting to come on and speak with us this morning about something that a lot of people saw and are scratching their heads. And I know that you have said that you want to have a more of an investigation. So is there anything more that you know this morning about how and why this happened?
Well, good morning, Robin. First of all, I'll say the circumstances surrounding the incident and the outcome in our store on Thursday were reprehensible. They were wrong. And for that, I personally apologize to the two gentlemen that visited our store. Now, certainly, it's my responsibility to understand what happened and what led to that and ensure that we fix it.
Has anybody asked the store manager, why did they do this? I mean, we were talking amongst ourselves. People, you see them in Starbucks all the time conducting business meetings. They're not buying any products. And even when we saw in the piece when the woman said that she had been there too, has anybody asked her why these particular men did she feel compelled to call the police?
Well, Robin, certainly with 28,000 stores around the world, different regions put in some slightly different guidelines in how they handle certain situations. In sort of reviewing this case, the guidelines that they had in place indicated a certain set of scenarios in which the police were to be called. Now, there are some scenarios where the police should be called. If there's threats or disturbance, those may be appropriate times. In this case, none of that occurred. It was completely inappropriate to engage the police. And so clearly there's an opportunity for us to provide clarity. And in addition to that, I'd say there's training. More training that we're going to do with our store managers, not only around the guidelines, but training around unconscious bias. What happened to those two gentlemen was wrong.
Because you said in your statement, and I quote here, that Starbucks stands firmly against racial profiling. So you believe that was the case here?
Well, Robin, Starbucks was built as a company that creates a warm, welcoming environment for all customers. That didn't happen in this case. That I know. And so it's my responsibility to ensure that we review everything. We review the actions of the store manager, we review the guidelines that were provided, and we review and invest in the training necessary to ensure that doesn't happen again. And that's what we will hold ourselves accountable to.
I'm sorry, sir. People are wondering, will any disciplinary action be taken against the employee?
Well, while I know it's easy for me to say and point blame to one person in this incident, my responsibility is to look not only to that individual, but look more broadly at the circumstances that set that up, just to ensure that this never happens again. So those reviews are conducting as we speak, and I've been very focused on understanding what guidelines and what training ever let this happen. What happened was wrong, and we will fix it.
The two gentlemen who were arrested have yet to speak publicly about this, but you have made it clear that you really want to have a face-to-face with them to apologize. What exactly do you want to say to them, sir?
Well, Robin, first of all, I reached out and we made contact with the representative of the two gentlemen, and I'm hopeful that while I'm here in Philadelphia, I'll have a chance to meet with them face-to-face. First, I'd like to apologize to them in person. And I'd like to have a dialogue with them so that I can ensure that we have the opportunity to really understand the situation and show some compassion and empathy for the experience they went through. And finally, as we're working to solve this, I'd like to invite them to join me in finding a constructive way to solve this issue.
Good to hear that. Make it a teachable moment. Kevin Johnson, thank you very much for your time this morning, for your remarks. We appreciate it very much, sir. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Robin, that was really something. We've seen a lot of corporate officials, a lot of public leaders in trouble and have to apologize. This guy did not hedge, took full responsibility, said he's going to fix it. No equivocation.
Yes.
Textbook.
I know. We rarely see that from a CEO. He wasn't mincing words at all, not making apologies for what happened, but just owning up to it. And I really appreciate what he said at the end, to bring these two gentlemen in. And we did ask to speak to the two gentlemen. They do have an attorney now. They have not made any public statements. But to bring them in on the conversation and say, how do we stop this from happening? Because if you watch this video, a lot of the customers, they were white, and they were saying they didn't do anything. But thankfully, they remained calm, and the police remained calm as well during this.
It was a powerful, powerful apology.
Good morning, Facebook family, friends, my faithful loyal YouTube subscribers. Today it is Monday, the 16th of April, All right, so you guys just saw those two videos about the two men who were arrested at Starbucks, sitting there minding their own business. For some reason, the employees felt they were a threat to the restaurant and area and asked them to leave because they didn't order a cup of coffee. Still unclear if they used the bathroom or attempted to use the bathroom. I still don't know the answer to that. We do know that they were arrested, and the other restaurant patrons were like, what is going on here? Why are they being arrested just for sitting here waiting for whatever? I've been to Starbucks, and the funny part is they were waiting for a person who was a real estate agent or something. So I remember many years ago when I did real estate, Starbucks would be the main meeting place to meet other real estate agents or investors because it was a safe place where everybody can meet. We can have a cup of coffee and talk a bunch of bullshit about these raggedy ass houses. I don't do that shit no more. I got sick of them raggedy houses. But before we get started on this about this incident in Starbucks, me and Earl years ago, when we had money, we would travel first class only. Maybe because we were big guys and we didn't like being squeezed in the seats in the back, and we were going places and we would just get us a first class ticket. And I noticed something. Every time we got on that plane, let me silence this. Every time we got on a plane and we'd be sitting in the first class section, we always flew Delta. Some of the Delta employees would say something to us. Delta has this thing called a buddy pass, where you can use a buddy pass of an employee to fly. You fly first class if they have availability in the first class. You can fly in first class using a buddy pass ticket if you're a family member or friend of a Delta employee. I have flown on buddy passes before, and you have to wear a certain specific dress code. I hated buddy passes because there was no guarantee you were going to get on a flight. So we stopped that mess. We don't use buddy passes. We've had people say, I got a buddy pass. You can keep that shit. I'm not going to be standing up at that airport all day trying to get where I need to go. We like to buy tickets, have that ticket in hand, and get on that plane. So we're sitting in first class, and every single time an Delta employee, whether it was a pilot or a stewardess, somebody would come up and say, did you know how you're not dressed appropriately for these seats? And we'd be like, you're not dressed appropriately for the seats. And after, and we want to go off because we know why they're doing this, because they think we're up there on a buddy pass. And I say, no, we paid for our tickets, man. We're not on a buddy pass. And I just leave it alone because this kept happening repeatedly. I'm trying to get us up down the road. I don't believe in having a lot of drama and bullshit, period. There's no sense in us going off on these people. They don't know who we are. They just assume that we only using a buddy pass. They don't know we pay cash for these tickets. And that's why we up in first class. We're not on a buddy pass. We can see a pilot come rushing by. He's like, guys, you can't do this. What are you doing? We're like, what are we doing? And I say, and Earl be about to say something. I say, sir, we paid for our tickets. We're not on a buddy pass. Every time we flew Delta first class, we had to explain this to these people. Every time. Now, of course, the people who were boarding us outside the ticket counter, they knew we didn't have a buddy pass. So when they checking us in, they could tell that we were just passengers who paid for their first class tickets. Of course, the people sitting, the employees running around I'll say the stewardess, is that what they call? Airline, whatever they are. I think they are airline stewardess or pass, or whatever they are. I don't know. They would have something to say because, of course, they didn't know. They'd have to go look at something and read something to see if we were on a buddy pass or not. This happened repeatedly. So finally, this kept happening, and Earl like that. Sometimes Earl could be a nigga, y'all. So Earl said he had had enough and he was going to confront them. So I said, okay, here we go. I don't believe in all this confrontation mess, y'all. We on this flight, we got to deal with these people. We had an incident one time when we were flying back from Hawaii, first class, got to our seats. And I don't know what took place. I said something to the stewardess, and about we were getting some drinks or something. The next thing you know, all the stewardess are over there. Are you okay? What is going on? What is the problem? I'm thinking, and I'm looking around, and all the people looking at me, and I'm thinking, what did I say? I sat down. He asked me for a drink. I told you what I wanted. I said, y'all, everything, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm cool. I'm like, I just want the drink I requested, and that's it. I mean, everything's fine. And like, okay, we just making sure everything's okay. I'm like, yeah, we good, we cool, we good. And white folks can be funny because you're all white folks. And each time me and Earl had this type of encounter on them first class seats, it was always somebody white. The white folks think, how these niggas can afford these seats? They must be on a buddy pass. Now let's go back to the Starbucks incident. We'll deal with my different. White folks don't know many white folks don't know they're racist. This is the United States of America. This country was born and based on racist behavior. That's just period. It's the foundation of this country. It's never going to change. Then white folks saw them two black guys sitting in that Starbucks and it concerned them. They begin to think they're casing the joint, they're going to rob us. Now, I still don't know what time it was. Was it late at night? Was it early? What was going on? Maybe they had been robbed before or something. Regardless of whatever had taken place, shouldn't they have picked up the phone and called 911 and had these men escorted off the property and arrested? Should they have? I'd love to know how many other people they've called 911 at that location. Just a one-time event. From what I understand, they dismissed and fired the employees who, in the management at the time, who did this type of foolish behavior. But I'm not surprised about it. When I first heard this, I was on my way to Mississippi. I forget what this has been going for. When I first heard about this, people were sending me emails. Walter, have you heard about the situation that took place at Starbucks? And I'm thinking, why are people so shocked by this? This is the United States of racist America. White folks do some crazy ass shit sometimes too. So why are y'all so surprised about some white folks having two black men arrested at Starbucks? I'm not surprised. I will say this though, those two men have struck the jackpot, which they locked my ass up at Starbucks. Shit, I need to go sit up in Starbucks and just sit there. When y'all gonna call 911? Shit, I need to check too. Shit. Hurry up calling folks. I've been sitting here for 3 hours now. Shit, I'm waiting for the police to get here and lock my ass up so I can call me an attorney and I can get paid like them other two men about to get paid. Shit, call 911. Shit, get this over with. I gotta go home and cook dinner in a minute. I'm trying to get to the gym today. You know, they're about to get paid. Racist white folks. But they don't care because the bottom line is the racist white folks at Starbucks who called 911 had these two black guys arrested and got fired. They're going to get another job someplace else. The lawsuit against Starbucks that Starbucks is going to have to pay out ain't coming out their pocket, so they don't give a shit. And the racism continues. Until white people in these type of establishments are held accountable for their actions. See, Starbucks is going to take the hit, not the employees who call 911. Them ignorant motherfuckers going over across town at Burger King working now. They ain't going on to another job. That probably was a part-time job any damn way. They'll find work someplace else. Starbucks is going to take the hit here. Not only Starbucks taking the hit financially, but this embarrassing news of the situation that took place in this store. Excuse me, y'all. And let me assure you all, this ain't Starbucks coffee I'm drinking right now. This is Folgers. You can get a big old jug of Folgers coffee for $6.99 here in Atlanta Kroger. Tall thing. Get you a whole bunch of 100 cup of coffee out for $6. I like Folgers coffee in the morning. It's good. I give me some Folgers, put me some coffee cream in there. I got some, I got some Dunkin' Donut coffee cream in here. I got cream and really got a new version. It's delicious. Put my little Splenda in there. Look, I like Starbucks occasionally, but I ain't about to run up there and buy that expensive coffee all the damn time. The devil is a lie. When I can get this for 50 cents or less a cup. This is about 20 cents a cup. How many cups I got? $6.99. That shit is cheap. So, Starbucks is going to take the hit. They're embarrassed. The people are running around. Everybody's going after Starbucks. When they really should be focused on these ignorant, racist-ass employees, their names need to be published. Their pictures need to be published. We need to know who these motherfuckers were. So you got to start embarrassing these motherfuckers who do bullshit like this. Starbucks is embarrassed, but the employees who did this, they get away with it. For now. I would love to know, well, who were they? What possessed them to call 911? No, these two guys, how often have they had to call down 911 and have people? How many times have people been arrested for loitering in Starbucks? Because every time I walk in Starbucks, it's packed with people just sitting there. Some folks just standing out the window having a coffee. Some people working, some people just sitting there chit-chatting. So I don't use to walk in Starbucks and see all the tables filled with people. I don't care what, early morning, late at night. I've been in Starbucks and people are packed. Just sitting at the tables, loitering. You gonna lock them all up now? Give me a break. You know some racist white folks doing what they do best, be racist. The white folks, call 911 to keep niggers arrested. I know how they operate. I have ran into some racist white folks over the years. I have a tendency to be, I don't like drama because life is just too short. I'll never forget when me and Earl purchased that expensive house up there in Buckhead. I wrote the contract the day before. I was over there the next day. I just wrote the contract on the home. I was over there the next day looking at the property, trying to figure out where we were going to dig the pool out. If I was going to do a pool, where would I put the pool out? I had the pool guy with me from the pool company, but he did multiple pools for me on multiple houses. So there's 3 of us standing there. Me, a friend of mine, a black guy, and the pool guy was white. And all of a sudden, this white woman comes up out of nowhere. She just appeared. And she says, "Are you going to cut your grass?" Now, I was standing there trying to figure out, well, who the hell is she talking to? Because I didn't understand the question because the grass that we were looking at was cut neat and clean. I kind of threw me from like looking around, well, who? And then so the pool guy kind of looked, and he just kind of liked it. He just kind of looked, he kind of walked away like, okay, I see what this bitch up to. He kind of eased away from that situation. He didn't know which way the shit was going to go. Then it clicked in my head. This bitch is asking me, am I going, because she said again, are you going to cut your grass? Are you going to keep your grass cut and clean? I said, okay. I don't know who you are, but I said every home I've ever lived in, I'm nice to this bitch. I should have slapped her ass down that damn hill and hauled her ass off that damn property. So I politely walked her, because she walked through the front door and out the back door through this empty house that I was buying. Came over there. I politely walked her right back through that front back door, right back up through that front, and talking to her very kindly and nicely. So, ma'am, I've always cut and maintained every grass I have. Every home I've ever owned, I've cut the grass. Not just my grass, but my neighbors too. My name is Walter. It's nice to meet you. I'm right in the middle of something right now. I'll deal with your racist white ass later. Is what I should have told her ass. Me and her, she became a thorn in my side the whole time I was there. Because she was always wondering, how can these niggas afford a house twice the size of my house? I know how white folks operate. I know how they think. That's how I know her ass. I see that husband coming over there. Hey! I slam my front door. Don't see her ass. Then I had put this big rock up there in the front yard on the corner. It's a big stone, a decorative stone. She'd be sitting up there on the rock, waiting for a child on the bus. Someone would say, bitch, you on my property. You get off my fucking rocko. But I was nice to this husband. But she was never nice to me. Why? Oh, it's this pretty mocha chocolate skin she didn't like. Oh, I get it, honey. These racist white folks are something else. Now, I'm not saying that all white folks are racist, but a large amount of them are, and they don't know that they're racist. See, she didn't think her behavior was racist towards me. She looked at my skin and immediately assumed he's not going to cut his grass. She didn't know the fuck who I was. Just like the folks sitting on that damn, when me and Earl went on them Delta airline flights, sitting in first class, immediately assumed, oh, they up here on the buddy pass, and they didn't dress up. On the buddy pass, you're supposed to wear, supposed to dress up and wear, I don't know, a dressy shirt or something, or slacks or something. You have to dress up. And we going on vacation, we sitting up there in tank tops and shorts. We didn't pay cash for these tickets, and they still looking at us like, why aren't you dressed up? You guys can't do this. Man, sir, we pay cash for these tickets. And I started letting Earl have his fun, because he enjoys that type of mess. I don't have time for that mess, to be arguing back and forth with a bunch of racist white folks over shit that it really ain't none of their damn business. You see us sitting here, you know, it just, needless to say, we don't fly first class as much as we used to anymore. We have foreign first, I don't, Earl be looking at the first class. I said, child, get them cheap tickets in the back. We'll squeeze our ass in there with the rest of them folks. And get on down that flight. Most of these flights ain't that long. Now, we going over to Los Angeles or Hawaii. That was a long ass flight. Yeah, we might want to sit in the longer flights. We just, you know, most of our flights are just going down to Florida someplace, or to the Caribbean or Mexico. We squeeze on in there and get it over with. I haven't flown to New York or a place like that in years. You know, so I don't know what took place, why they felt they had to call, but Starbucks is going to take the hit on this. And Starbucks and those two gentlemen are about to get paid, which is good. They probably need that damn money so they can complete that real estate transaction. They probably called their realtor and said, we're going to have some cash in a few weeks, so you just hold that contract to the left, over to the side, set it to the side. We'll throw you an extra couple bonuses on. We're going to have cash in a minute. I remember when that a few months ago when they settled that man, that Asian man was snatched off that airplane in Chicago. They settled that shit quick. Starbucks was going to settle this fast. because they don't want no more embarrassment with this shit. Them men about to get paid. They probably need that money. I wish that had been my black ass sitting in that damn Starbucks. So I'd be having a good old time. And I like the fact that the black men have not said one word. They hire an attorney and just sit back waiting. Negotiate your settlement, then say something. Then start, they may not ever say anything. Starbucks may say, well, we'll pay y'all extra couple $1 million just to, get on out of here and don't say nothing. I'd take that money and shut my mouth too. I sure would. That's an extra $5 million to silence my ass. I'd zip it up. I won't say a motherfucking word. I'd be quiet as hell. You pay the $5 million more? Done deal. Let me shut up. I won't say nothing else. They about to get paid because this doesn't make any sense. And they might even be able to sue that police department too for this bullshit. It's just crazy. I don't know. We'll see. We must start. But I know Starbucks is going to have to settle with their ass because this is too embarrassing. They can't continue this shit. People want. It left a weird taste in my own mouth about Starbucks because I go there often to get that expensive ass coffee and the expensive ass sandwiches and expensive ass cake. They have this lemon cake I love so much, and get that expensive ass lemon. It's a pound cake with icing on it. It's delicious. Shit is high, $5 a slice. You can go or more than that. Like your whole pound cake for that type of shit at Kroger's the same cake. But anyway, it is Monday. I got so much shit to do. I just got back from Mississippi from a funeral. My uncle passed away. He was 80-something years, 86 years of age. And we went down to the funeral. We spent the weekend there, and I had to do a video about that. We were in Louisville, Mississippi. That's where my father's from. My father passed away in 2001. So my sisters are buried down there. My uncle passed away. So it was sort of like a big family reunion to a degree. If you like my videos, click like, share them with family members and friends. I look forward to reading you all's comments and seeing what you all, think about this whole Starbucks incident. I'm not surprised by this behavior. Nothing surprises me when it comes to racism in the United States. It just doesn't surprise me. It's not shocking anymore. I'm just used to it. I've been in Atlanta. I've been on reserve for 48 years. I haven't seen a lot of racist shit in my damn life. And I just sit back and say, oh, here we go again. And just, you just keep going. You don't have a choice but to keep going. Those two men will get paid. They ain't did nothing wrong. Take your little check and go take a bath and take you a nice vacation. I wish, like I said, that'd been my black ass sitting there. Ooh, boy, I wish that had been me. Anyway, if you like my videos, click like, share them with family members and friends. I'm out of here. Enjoy your Monday. It is the Monday the 16th. The year is 2018. I'm out. Enjoy your day.